Imagine for a few moments that you are sitting in a sanctuary, a temple that is made of pure crystal, and you're right in the center. And sitting in the center of this pure crystal sanctuary has an effect. You are able to attune to your own inner light, inner intuition, inner knowing, and awareness. Now imagine that there's also an outer sanctuary around the inner sanctuary. And because this is a crystal, what's in the outer sanctuary influences what's coming inside. Colors, sounds, everything comes through the crystal and impacts the experience in the inner sanctuary. Now imagine that you can choose, you can design or master what's in the outer sanctuary. What would you choose to have in that outer sanctuary that's influencing the temple within? Would you have wise sounds, beautiful sounds and colors, perhaps plant a nourishing, inspiring garden? Or would you leave the outer sanctuary wide open for anything to come in and pollute it, disturb it? Would you leave it open to that, knowing that whatever's in this outer sanctuary influences the inner sanctuary? This is, of course, a metaphor. Your body, mind, subtle body is that inner sanctuary, that temple of the self. And the outer sanctuary is everything that you surround yourself with. Some of that we don't have choice over, our circumstances and influences, our environment. Some of it we don't have choice over, but some of it we do. And this happens to be a time when we are going to each be particularly sensitive to the inner sanctuary and the outer sanctuary. This is a time in which 6 different grahas, that's heavenly bodies like the planets, the sun, and the moon as well, they are all passing through a constellation called Shravana. And Shravana is the ear. Shravana has to do with listening. And because it is through the ear that we listen to wisdom, and it is through the inner ear, the inner faculty of listening, that we hear inner knowing and intuition, we are all going to be attuned, some more than others, to a potential for great inner listening and outer listening. It also leaves us vulnerable. So you might have the feeling like there are too many voices, too many opinions, too many influences, too many distractions, that it is overwhelming or depleting or confusing or obscuring your ability to really listen within or to find wisdom and clarity or anchoring. And so this is your invitation to take more mastery over what is in your outer sanctuary in the areas where you do have choice. What and whom are you listening to and looking at? What are you allowing to influence the inner sanctuary? That's your heart and mind. It's also an invitation to plant a wonderful, nourishing, enlightening garden in that outer sanctuary. Because while at this time when all of these grahas are moving through the constellation of Shravana, it can be overwhelming. We can be vulnerable to too many different voices, ideas, influences, and opinions. we also have an opportunity to gather around us wise voices, wise teachings, wise influences. What makes something wise in your outer sanctuary will be all of those things that support your ability to listen to the inside of your own inner temple. So, for the next month, I encourage you to plant in that garden of your outer sanctuary all good things, good habits, good people, wise teachings in particular, wise and good sounds. That can mean mantra recitation, that can mean singing, that can mean talking and listening to teachings and being in good company where you are listening to wisdom. It can also have to do with good, wise practices for your body that help you attune to and listen to wisdom from the outside and the inside. And once you start that garden in your outer sanctuary, close the gates. Take more initiative and mastery over not letting in things that disperse you, that confuse you, that overwhelm you. Sometimes we don't have choice about that. But now is a time to be a little more boundaried in your choices about what is in the inner and outer sanctuary, and leave everything else on the outside for now that you can. As you strengthen that inner sanctuary and make that outer sanctuary garden really robust and rich and lustrous, you can open up those gates and it won't have as much influence, and you can engage with the rest of the world with more authority, with more tending, with more heart, with more humility, without losing yourself. So I hope this makes some sense. This is a message that I've been wanting to share with you for a number of weeks now and have felt hesitant about how to put it. So I hope this metaphor for your inner temple, your inner sanctuary, and the outer sanctuary around you is helpful. Take it, make it dear, and make wise choices that are really all about attuning to your own inner wisdom that's there all along.